This is the Unit 4 Lesson 2 retrieval. In our packet, it is on page 14. First set of questions, we have to solve each equation for the indicated variable and explain what we did to solve. So for number 1, we're supposed to solve for r. That basically means that our final equation has to have r completely by itself, all alone on one side of the equation. I can see that the r and the t are being multiplied, so I need to do the opposite of multiplying, which is dividing. And I want to get rid of the t, so I'm going to divide by t. The reason I do that is t divided by t goes away, and I'll be left with just r on the right side of the equation. Now if I do that on the right, I have to do the exact same thing on the left. So on the left, I will have d divided by t. And there is my final answer because r is all by itself. If that's confusing, just imagine that t was a number, like let's say it was r times 3. To undo the multiplying by 3, we would divide by 3. It's the same idea, we're just using a variable instead of a number. For number 2, we're supposed to solve for w. Now this time we do have a number here. We have w plus 9. To get rid of plus 9, I have to do the opposite, which would be subtracting 9. The reason I do that is positive 9 minus 9 turns into 0, that goes away, and w is all by itself. But if I do that on the right side of the equation, I have to do it on the left. So over here I have L minus 9 equals W. W is all by itself, so I have solved for W. We're going to skip number 3. Number 4, find the domain and range for the function represented by the graph. I'm going to start by drawing in that box that we did way back in Unit 3. So I'm drawing in a box that captures the entire graph, no extra space, but doesn't leave any of the graph out. Okay, remember domain goes from left to right. We want the point all the way to the left and then the point all the way to the right. The smallest value all the way on the left is -5. And I'm going to do square brackets because this is like the beginning and the end. And then the largest value all the way on the right looks like it's at 7. And we'll do square brackets again. Range is up and down, so I need the smallest value on the y-axis up to the highest value on the y-axis. So the lowest point down here is at -4. Once again square brackets. Sorry, I got eyes crossed for a second there. It is -4, not -5. And then the highest point on the graph right here is 6. And use square brackets for domain because these are filled in circles. It's like the beginning and the end. Okay, last thing, graph the inequality on the number line. This is an inequality. It means that something is bigger than something else. I learned this in elementary school as it's like an alligator and it's opening its mouth towards the bigger thing. So this is opening its mouth towards x. So what this means is x is greater than -3. So I'm going to start by putting a point at -3. And I'm going to do an open circle instead of a filled in circle because this is just greater than, not greater than or equal to. So if you have these symbols, do an open circle. If you have these symbols, you do a closed circle. Just tells us if the number is included or not. In this case, the -3 is not included. And then this, like we said, x is greater than -3, so we're going to shade to the right. This statement basically means that x can be any number that is bigger than -3. If you feel a little iffy on which way the symbol is opening, I highly recommend to think of it as an alligator and then write out a statement like I did over here. Wow, look at that underline. I don't know how that happened. This statement can help you make sure that you shade the right way. Okay, cool.